Today I'm going to be showing you an incredible debut watch from a new micro brand. I've got an awful lot to get through, so let's not hang about. This brand was set up by David and Siddharth, a couple of car designers based in Melbourne, Australia. And this watch is designed in Australia, built in Switzerland. This is a Swiss-made watch. And they've sent me a full production Lotse. Lotse is the name of their first watch, and it's also the name given to the fourth highest mountain in the world. And for their first watch, they've decided to create an everyday expedition tool watch. And if you go onto their website, you'll see that this watch has been put through its paces. One of their prototypes has spent time at altitude, 2 months at base camp at Everest, and it's also gone up the Lotse Peak. Yeah, that's pretty cool. There's 4 colors available, 10 options actually, and 1 numbered special edition. And they've sent me the Watch Enthusiasts Melbourne Special Edition. And it is quite a striking watch. Strong tingles for me, this one. Great first impressions when I unboxed this watch. Packaging was impressive. I love the case shape. The finishing seems to be very, very nice. And I was pleasantly surprised during my unboxing to see that the clasp is fairly discreet. I wear my watches on my left wrist, also write with my left hand. So I do tend to prefer watches like this with smaller, flatter, more discreet clasps. So this is right up my alley. The standout features of this watch, well, firstly, it is a Swiss-made watch. Made in Switzerland, housing a Swiss movement, the STP1-21. There's not an awful lot of information out there on this movement. It seems to be a replacement of the STP1-11, a higher beat automatic movement, 28,800 beats per hour. They've put inside their watch a no-date version of that movement. Hacking, hand wind, roughly 40 hours of power reserve, 26 joules. It's a nice movement. The loom on this watch is definitely a standout feature. It lasts incredibly well. You'll see me pit this watch against my MM300 at the end of the video. BGW9, impressive loom display. The finishing is excellent on this watch, and in particular the applied indices. I'm not sure I've ever seen better finished applied indexes. It doesn't matter how far you zoom into these applied indices, they just look perfect. And the way it looks is definitely a standout feature for me. I've said it already, this is right up my alley, this sort of all stainless steel expedition sports all day every day sort of watch. You could wear this for so many occasions. It's not too thick. It's a fleece fanny under 39 millimeters in diameter, 11.5 millimeters thick. Beautiful mix of finishing on the steel. The face of the bezel brushed, I really like that. You've got that polished chamfered edge around the bezel, flanking the case on the inside of the lugs. No polishing on the bracelet, but that's not too much of a problem. You do have sort of matching polished chamfered edges flanking the outer shell of the clasp. It sort of ties in with the case. Yeah, it has been very nicely finished, and I think they've nailed it in terms of the mix of types of finishing. I also like how the applied indices sort of straddle the 2 areas on the dial, that inner circle and the outer ring. Gorgeous applied logo. I really like the logo actually. The branding's good. I'm not wild about the word automatic under the ocean to orbit on the dial. I also think ocean to orbit's quite long, isn't it? And like those applied indices, the hands seem to be very nicely finished. Single facet, sort of flat polished hands. Lots of light play on this watch. Yeah, it is an incredibly impressive debut watch from this brand. Having said that, there are a couple of things that I'd have done differently, I think. Firstly, if it was possible, I'd have gone for a flat piece of crystal. Yes, double domed box crystal like this has a bit more character to it, but I just think this style of watch perhaps would have suited just a very simple, plain, flat piece of crystal, and it might have then meant that the watch was a little bit slimmer. I'm not so sure I would have given the hour hand those sort of wings or fins. I know the brand is ocean to orbit, so they're covering everything from the ocean to the skies, so it sort of ties in with the brand name, but yeah, I'm not wild about those little fins. They don't appear on the minute hand, do they? And I think maybe I would have left automatic off the dial, but I think that is about it. I know there will be people out there saying, oh, it needs an on-the-fly adjustment system in the clasp. We're seeing a lot of those these days appear on watches like this. For me, not every watch needs that. I like the outer shell, or I like the clasp on this watch. I like the bracelet. Lots of taper on this bracelet. Yeah, I think this clasp suits this watch. It's not a big watch. It's not a heavy watch. It's not uncomfortable or cumbersome in any way, and I've been able to get a perfect fit. Yes, those on-the-fly adjustment systems are great for some watches, and I do use them when bigger and heavier watches have them, but this isn't a particularly big or heavy watch, so I think the clasp they've gone for is fine. Let me run through some of the specifications that I haven't mentioned. 316L stainless steel, double-domed sapphire crystal with internal AR coating, 100 meters of water resistance, screw-down caseback, screw-down crown, solid bracelet and clasp. Everything is solid, so no hollow end links, solid end links, milled clasp, screw pins, solid links in this bracelet, drilled lugs for easy strap changes, and this particular watch does come with a strap which unfortunately was forgotten in my little bundle. I will get that at some point in the future, but yeah, it's not here for the review sadly. But yeah, drilled lugs is a nice touch. You don't have quick release spring bars on this bracelet, and I'll put the dimensions on the screen for you at some point throughout this video. And there are plenty of other nice little touches that I haven't even mentioned yet. Ocean to orbit on the inside of the clasp, the caseback beautifully finished, some specifications on it. The logo on the dial is incredible. I do think I've actually mentioned that already. Signed crown, crown action is nice. Winding up this movement, you can definitely tell it's a premium movement. Great accuracy with this movement as well. I've put it on the time grapher. This one's running very, very nicely. If I was to design a sort of everyday all stainless steel expedition exploring watch, it would probably look something like this. But we all know I haven't got the patience for that sort of stuff, so I'm happy to leave it to people like David and Siddharth to do stuff like this, and yeah, I look forward to getting them in to share with you guys. And now it's your turn to let me know what you think of this incredible debut watch. It's currently available on their website. On a strap it's £625, with the bracelet it's £695. This special edition version is £725. It's the only one that has that mix of colours on the dial. I think it's visually the most striking one, although of course it does have the WEM on the dial, which again stands for Watch Enthusiasts of Melbourne. Now, interestingly, their brand name is Ocean to Orbit, and for their first watch, they've gone for a land-based watch. What this does mean, though, is we can look forward to more watches from this brand in the near future, hopefully. Maybe a diver, maybe a pilot's watch, I don't know, but watch this space, guys. Looking forward to reading your comments in the comments section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notifications icon so you don't miss out on my future uploads.